Hello and welcome everyone to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. This is Gail Moffat and we are currently live. Now, you can find me if you wish to communicate with me after the show on Facebook, Gail Moffat, Spiritualist Medium and Teacher. So that's where you can find me. Now, I want to talk to you about something that has been extremely distressing to not only myself, but many people in the United Kingdom. For those people who are listening in perhaps United States or Australia or even England or the United Kingdom, you will know that on Monday evening there was a suicide bomber that took his own life and many others in Manchester at a concert where many young people were visiting or going to a concert where somebody, an artist from America, was delivering a concert. And I think what saddens me more than anything is that I suppose on the one hand it's ostensibly on my home turf where this has happened, and I know that I have had in the past links to Manchester, and I know many people who have and do live in Manchester. And what I'd like to say is that there are many people out here in our world who are perhaps evolved souls, who are perhaps enlightened, who are perhaps or do have an understanding of spirit, an understanding of life beyond ours. People who are mature in their outlook, people who have perhaps compassion to many people, people who love and care and live within the light. And it is these people that need to rise up and say to the world, no longer must we accept terrorism. No longer must we accept the darkness and the hatred that lives within our world. But we can only do that with a spiritual understanding. We in our world need to understand the truths of spirit. We need to not have religious bigotry or religion to be considered our only way. For the truths of spirit needs to rise up and to fall upon the minds of many. Once this takes place, no one in their right mind would consider the evil atrocities that have taken place in this world in this week. I, for one, would like to say to all of you that are listening here tonight, I hope that we can say a prayer for the families, for the friends, and for the people that are suffering as a result of this atrocity, but also those people that have transitioned to the next world, that we hope that the care and the love and understanding from Spirit is given to many, is given to them all that are in need, that ray of light and that understanding of truth can penetrate the minds of those that believe in the bigoted way of life, that there is a God that will understand all, that there is a possibility within our future that love will descend upon our world and keep mankind, the human race, bonded and tight together that we do not have the divisions, that we do not have the religious bigotry, that we do not dislike our differences, but in fact we embrace the differences of the world, that we love one another. In other words, that we have and are a part of the brotherhood and the sisterhood in our world. Let it be that love descends within our world and amongst all that live in it. So I know that's on a bit of a serious note, but I wanted to talk about this because I think it's something that needs to penetrate our minds and to help us think in a more thought-provoking way. So thank you for listening on this point. Now, on a more cheerful point, I'd like to go to some callers, and I think we're going to have two great callers tonight. And the first caller that I believe is waiting is Beatrice, and she is in Edison, New Jersey. Can you hear me, Beatrice?
Yes, hi, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
Good, thank you for those words and prayers to everybody. That was just awful.
Well, I'm normally not so serious, but it just felt that it was appropriate this week, considering what's happened in Manchester on Monday night.
Absolutely. Prayers to everybody for healing and strength.
And thank you for your understanding. So how can I help you?
I just go with the flow. What can you tell me? What do you feel for me?
Right, let me see. Right, well, the first thing that I'm sensing about you is I think that you are gifted with the ability of clear sight. What that means is I think that you potentially, with the right training, obviously, or maybe you do that anyway, to be able to do what I do. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. I have taken some trainings.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Because what I'm being told by my guide is that you have the potential to be absolutely exemplary and gifted as not only as a psychic, but as a medium too. And what's important here is that you receive the right training. And particularly with mediumship. And he's recommending that I don't know what your financial affairs are like or whatever, so maybe that may hold you back in what he's recommending, because I don't know if they always consider money, but what he's recommending to you is to look up the Arthur Findlay College in England, where people travel to from all over the world to advance their mediumistic unfoldment.
Okay, what was the name of that college? I'm sorry?
It's called the Arthur Findlay College.
Arthur Findlay, okay.
Arthur Findlay. Now, Arthur Findlay owned this big, beautiful old mansion with lots of grounds around it. And he left it in his will to the Spiritualist National Union in England for the advancement of psychic studies. And so what's happened is that it's become the centre of the world for advancing in your mediumship. And if you went there, you'd be very much taught in an English style, where the evidence of who you're bringing through is so important. And he's highly recommending that you, because the top tutors from around the world work from this centre, and he's highly recommending to me, and he's never done that with, I know he's told me people are psychic or mediumistic, but you are the first person that he's ever advised to me to recommend for somebody that's living in another continent, another country, so 3,500 miles away, that you visit this college.
Okay.
He's
Thank you. I financially right now I can't, but hopefully soon or someday something can come through.
Well, what he's saying is that your potential as a medium would far outstrip many mediums that exist in our world today. And I think this is why he's recommending that you have this proper training. In the meantime, it's important that you have training elsewhere. And what I would recommend, if you want to get more advice on this, find me on Facebook, which my name is Gail Moffat. It's Gail Moffat, spiritualist, medium, and teacher, and which
how do you spell your last name? It's Moffat?
No, it's A1T.
1T
At the end.
Okay.
Yeah, Moffat. And Gail is Gail.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I just think it's important that you have the right training. Many people have different styles and different ways of presenting their psychic and mediumistic faculties. But for some reason, he's seeing your ability as, it's almost like he's showing me like a beacon of light, and I just feel with you that you have, it's like you have a special gift that is just waiting to unfold, is ready to be at the forefront of abilities.
Wow. Thank you. I've done trainings a little bit, and I'm very into all this spiritual. I kind of don't trust myself at times.
Well, that is something that what happens when you first develop your mediumship or psychic ability. You think, is this me or is this spirit? And that's a perfectly normal response that you've got there. But as you become more used to doing this and more developed, and you hone your skills, what will happen is that you will become more able to recognize the difference and absolutely know when it's spirit and when it's or when it's your own mind. Because the first thing that you need to really properly develop is how to sit in the power. And that, so in other words, it's how to open the door to spirit and how to be open to sense and hear and see spirit. But the right training for you. My guide's called Arthur, and he's a monk, and he's saying to me the right training for you is essential, because you have quite a path ahead of you with work for spirit. Quite a path. And I don't know whether this sounds like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. But he's saying that your path ahead of you is going to be quite important. You have a big job to do, and it's almost as though you're ready. It's like...
yes, I've been kind of confused. That I go back and forth, either what it is I want to do. Is it mediumship? Is it teaching, healing, Reiki? I go back and forth. I'm confused, but I've been told I do have a gift. I sense things.
What my guide is saying...
It's just back and forth. I can't, I'm undecided, if that's the right word.
Sure, and I get that, and I understand that, because that was, in a way, I had a big interest in all areas right at the beginning of my development. But what Arthur is saying is, you have a natural gift of mediumship. Now, what that means is that you are able to connect to loved ones and guides in the spirit world.
Right.
You have a natural gift. Now, in that natural gift, you can develop your communication, as I'm communicating with you right now, and my guide is standing right by the side of me and talking through me. You can connect, so you can have that speaking ability, but those same skills could invite your healing guides to do hands-on healing. And so, in other words, spiritual healing. And so it would, the two of them could complement each other. And of course, there's things like trance healing, trance mediumship, and also then it goes on to physical mediumship. But I feel that definitely you need that speaking, that communication, as sort of like, it's almost like your number one gift. And I bet you, if I said to you, you've had so many sort of intuitions or knowings or understandings throughout your life, that it's just been incredible.
Yes, I do have, at first I was like, am I crazy or is it me? I think I'm too much in my head also. I need to get out of my head more.
Yeah. Well, listen.
But yes, I've had things that have happened, and I would be like, I knew that.
Yeah, of course. And take my words seriously, because this is coming from my guide, and he's
oh, I do. Thank you for this.
He's an amazing guide, and he always knows what he's talking about. And so I have to go on to another caller. So I hope that helps. Yes. I know we haven't talked about. I just have one
question really quickly. Can you ask, or can you tell where I had been going for mediumship? Is that good to still go, or should I do something else, go elsewhere?
Well, what I don't want to do is criticize anybody on air.
I understand.
Because I think that it would be sort of inappropriate and unfair to somebody. However, what I would suggest is find me on Facebook, and if you want, we can do a Skype video chat, if you like, and I can give you all the advice that you need.
Thank you. I will.
But I must go to my next caller. I hope that helps, and I look forward to chatting to you soon.
It helped tremendously. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's great what you do, and I've seen you in a few videos, and you're awesome. And I thank you. Thank you for this reading.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Beatrice. Oh, by the way, I love your name.
I'm sorry?
I said, by the way, I love your name, Beatrice. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Speak to you soon, Beatrice.
Thank you, and blessings to you. Thank you.
Bye. Right. We have Doris in, I believe, now, forgive me if I pronounce this incorrectly, but it looks like Monticello.
Monticello.
Ah, Monticello, sorry. In Kentucky. How can I help you, Doris?
I'm pretty open. I just mainly want to know about jobs.
Jobs.
Yeah, we're coming up on a change.
Right. One of the first things that I'm sensing about you is I feel stuck. I feel absolutely stuck. And I want to say that I'm looking at I don't know whether this is previous or current employment, but I'm looking at an employment that you have or do have. And I know with this employment that it's almost like it doesn't offer you enough. It doesn't offer you enough satisfaction. It doesn't offer you enough money. It doesn't offer you enough friendship. It doesn't offer you enough of everything. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for the most part.
And the other thing that I'm sensing is that it's almost like I want to pull you away. So I don't know if you've been pulled away from that situation or are going to be pulled away, because I feel that this environment that you were in is wrong on so many levels, because I feel that you and I'm sensing something to do with creativity as well, that there's a creative side to you, and I don't know how that you are creative, but I know that there's a creative side, and I know with you that you need to fulfill all your innate abilities, and you're not doing that in whatever you've been doing up until now. It's like your innate abilities need to be fulfilled, because you have a lot of skills that have never ever been used in your working life. And I know that with you, that as time, your creativity will come more in to your working life. And this is something that has to happen with you, because change has to happen with you. It's almost like up until now, there's this stagnant, not moving forward, almost like feet in concrete, needing to make change. And it's interesting because 2017, if you look at it's numerology. It's a year one, so it's new beginnings on every level. And I know with you that this year is about new beginnings for you. And I feel that there's going to be more than one change that takes place in your life. Not only in your working life, which will include creativity for a start, but also I feel that friendships are going to unfold that will show you different aspects of life and different things that you can enjoy. Because again, I feel that up until now there's been this stagnant feel. It's almost like you've outgrown so much in your life and you've stayed static. But it's like, rest assured, you're going to be given, it's like through these friendships that you're going to make, it's going to give you an inquiring mind of doing things that you haven't done before. You're moving into territory that is going to be more uplifting, more enjoyable, but also it's going to give you an inquiring mind. And this is something that again is quite important, because it almost feels like your mind's been a bit stagnant. That sounds like a rude word, and I don't mean it to come across like that. It's just the descriptive word that I'm being given. It's like you are going to be it's like you're being lifted up into a new way of life and a new way of looking at things. By the end of this year, I'm going to be very pleased to be seeing you working in a new capacity. And obviously it will all unfold up until that point. But I'm just saying, by the end of the year, it's going to be a time where you are complete with it all. But I just know that you are going to have so much change in your life, work, friendships, things you do, and this creativity is moving into your life. Now I'm hearing the word dad. So dad is significant to you as I'm being told this. Does that make sense to you?
No, my dad isn't living.
Exactly. That's why I'm being given your dad, because I know that your dad is in the spirit world and he's coming through. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
And he's and it was him that it was able. He's saying it was me that was able to give you so much of this information via Gail, and he's. Now I know that what I'm seeing is like a typically American truck that's open, and it looks quite an old style truck that sort of has that sort of rounded look at the front and open at the back. Does that make sense to you?
No, the only one that had a truck like that was my grandpa.
Your grandpa, he had a truck like that?
He did have.
Yeah, well, I'm being shown this, and it may well be that your grandfather's coming through as well. Now I know that, so I'm being given this truck and that maybe that's his way of saying, I'm here too, because I was being shown this truck. Now I know that I've only got a few seconds left of the show, and I know it will be cut in a minute. So I'm just going to reiterate: lots of change in your life, lots of new friends, lots of creativity, and lots of opportunities coming your way. And this is being supported by your father and your grandfather as they speak through me and give you these details.